So when you think of the Scottish Premier League, St Mirren FC are not the first club that comes to mind. However, the Saints actually have a proud history, winning 3 Scottish Cups, and in the 2012-2013 season they actually won the Scottish League Cup. As of right now, the Buddies are sat 4th in the SPL, meaning as things stand they would qualify for the Conference League. So St Mirren are actually doing really well in real life, but I think we can do better. So we are going to jump into FC24, take charge of St Mirren, make them the most dominant side in Scottish football and win them a Champions League trophy on the way. Remember lads, if you enjoy this content, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, as we are now on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Let's get St Mirren rebuilt. So this is the St Mirren team we're loading into, boys, and it's actually quite a good side. However, I am not a fan of this formation and it's definitely getting changed. So after having a play around with the formation and starting 11, this is the St Mirren team we have decided on. And I have to say, boys, now that we've added some changes to the team and the formation, the squad is looking much better. Now moving forward, it is clear to see that we need to add some quality to this side. However, that will not be happening in this transfer window, as you know, the first summer transfer window is always disabled in these rebuilds. And given the fact that St Mirren only start with £2 million and our only major objective of the season is to keep salary growth under 5%, we are really limited on who we can add to the squad, so we might just have to dip into the loan market. And when we arrive in January, boys, we'll be looking to loan in a new centre-back, because I do think our defence is definitely lacking, and if we can add some young quality to the back line, we'll have a better chance of qualifying for Europe. However, I don't yet think this squad of players is ready to qualify for Europe in game just yet. And the tactical vision we've decided on for this rebuild is going to be the tiki-taka vision, purely because our best players are our central midfielders. We want to get the ball to them as much as possible and try to let them dictate the games. So we've gone over the starting 11 and the formation, we've analysed the finances, and we've decided on a tactical vision. All that's left to do now is simulate forward to January the 1st, get some signings in, and try to get St Mirren as high up the table as possible. So we've arrived at January the 1st, boys, and well, every single player at the club other than Mandron, McMenamin and Taylor are out of contract. So that definitely means we're not signing any players now in season 1, as we've got to spend most of our budget renewing all these contracts. So it's now looking like, boys, the squad is staying completely as it is going in to season 2. So every single player at the club other than Ryan Flynn and Colin Boyd Muntz have all been offered new contracts, meaning Flynn and Muntz will both leave the club and expire their contracts in the summer. However, it's not currently all doom and gloom, as we do currently sit 7th in the SPL table on 24 points, and we are a whopping 14 points off 4th placed Hearts, meaning we are definitely not getting European football this season. It's literally now just all about finishing as high up the league as we can. So we've arrived at the end of season 1, boys, and we have achieved a 6th place finish in the Cinch Premier League on 41 points. Then we moved over to the Championship group, boys, where we achieved a 5th place finish, winning 1 of our 5 games, finishing the season on 45 points, a whopping 21 points off 4th place Hearts. So we have got a lot of work to do in the upcoming transfer window. We also made the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup, getting beat by Hearts 1-0, who went on to play Celtic in the final. So this is how the team is looking at the end of season 1, and Bacchus and Strain become our first 2 players reaching 70 rated. The squad doesn't look too bad on paper, lads, although we haven't had much growth this season. I think going into season 2 we definitely need a new centre-back and a right winger to replace McMenamin and probably Taylor. We also lose our defensive midfielder Hyuk Kyo, who's going back to Celtic as is only on loan, so we could maybe explore the possibility of bringing him back. I do think the main areas we have to improve, lads: centre-back, winger, definitely. In terms of stats, lads, Greg Kilty was our best player, getting 18 goals and 5 assists, followed by Jonah Ayunga, who got 14 and 5. And after that, boys, not many goals at all from the rest of the squad. That is not good and something we definitely need to improve in season 2. So let's get into season 2, boys, and finally sign some players. So we've arrived in season 2, boys, and we've only got £5 million to improve the squad, meaning it's highly likely we're going to be relying on frees and loans in this window. So we kick off our transfer window, boys, with 3 absolutely excellent loan signings, all with optional future fees. The first is Kike Salas, a centre-back from Sevilla. He's 22-year-old, 69 rated, and we have got an option to sign him for £2 million in a year's time. The next loan signing is Daniel Gore of Manchester United. He's 65 rated and 19-year-old, and we can sign him permanently for £1.3 million in 2 seasons' time. And we once again raided Manchester United for winger Omari Forson. He's 65 rated, 20-year-old, and we will have to pay £1.3 million to sign him permanently in 2 years' time. And after making these loan signings, boys, we do still actually have £3 million, so if we want to bring in a player permanently, we can do. And we have once again dipped into the loan market, boys, making our final loan signing of the window, and is Mohamed Toure, an Australian striker. He's 67 rated and 20-year-old, and we'll have the option to sign him for just £1.5 million in a year's time. And we have identified 20-year-old goalkeeper James Beadle. He's 70 rated, he plays for Roma, has really decent stats, 6'6" as well, might I add, and he is going to cost us slightly more, between 3 3.2 and 2.7 million, as he has literally just signed for Roma, and we are going to pinch him from right under our noses. And for just £2.6 million, we have brought James Beadle to St Mirren. And with all the new additions in the side, this is how the team is looking going into season 2, and I have to say the team looks much stronger on paper. I'm expecting players like Torre, Forson and Gore to have really good seasons in terms of development before we make them permanent signings. And I know this team will not be challenging in the very top of the SPL, but I'm hoping we can at least try to close the gap between 4th and 5th, because that gap was 21 points last season. And there have been a few outgoings along the way, boys. Alex Gogic has joined Al Wedi, 470 grand. Charles Dunn has joined FC Luzerne for 440 grand. We sold last season's top scorer Jonah Ayunga to Hull City for £1.35 million. We just could not turn down that kind of money. And we've also sold Mikhail Mandaron to Kilmarnock for 290 grand. So we've arrived at the end of season 2, boys, and we have secured a 5th place finish in the SPFL. Then when we got to the championship round, lads, unfortunately once again we faltered a little bit, only winning one of our 5 games, amassing 65 points and finishing 5th overall. Now, despite finishing 6th in the SPFL, we was actually in the Conference League this year, where we had Augsburg, Royal Antwerp and SK Rapid in our group. We finished 3rd, won 1, only lost 2, which is quite decent. Finished on 6 points, and we just didn't do enough to get through. So lads, any Scottish football fans in the comments, please let me know, why did we get into Europe despite finishing 6th? The Scottish Cup, lads, once again disappointment, as we were beaten by Celtic 3-2 in the semi-finals. So we are still chasing our first bit of silverware of the rebuild. And it's safe to say, boys, that the loan signings have absolutely hit the ground running in season 2, as Forson, Dallas, Torre have all reached over 70 rated. Gore's grown to 68, and James Beadle is looking like our best player on paper, growing all the way to 74 rated. The team looks really strong, boys, but I do think going into season 3 we need a new left winger and left back, as the left side of our team is definitely lacking, and we also need to make Torre and Salas's loan deals permanent. In terms of stats, lads, our best player was loanee Amari Forson, getting 22 goals and 4 assists from the right wing position. That is absolutely insane. So let's now get into season 3, boys, and the goal is simple. Let's just progress once again. Let's try to get 4th place in the SPFL. So we've arrived in season 3, boys, and we've got £8 million in the bank. And the first orders of business for this season are very obvious. We are making Torre and Salas permanent at St Mirren, and Torre joins the club for just £1.8 million steal, and Kike Salas follows him through the door for £2.25 million steal once again. And after adding Torre and Salas to our squad, we've got £3 million to bring in 2 left-sided players. And lads, I'm once again gonna see what the loan market has to offer.
A few moments later.
And unfortunately, boys, the game has got one over on me. Absolutely no one listed for loan worth signing. We have had our left back prayers answered in the most insane way possible. We have found 76 rated 23-year-old Javi Lopez on the free agents list. This guy looks absolutely incredible and would instantly come into our team and be our best player. So we are going to bring him to St Mirren right now. And Lopez would only commit to St Mirren for 2 seasons, but at least we've got him through the door. And boys, we have made yet another insane signing in the loan market. We have brought in Udinese winger Mateus Martins on a 1-year loan. He's 73 rated, 22-year-old, so much potential, and at the end of the season we can buy him for just 2.8 million. We are stacked with loan players. This guy could be 77, 78 rated by the end of the season. This is unbelievable business. So after all those incomings, lads, this is how the team is looking going into season 3. Now, I do know Bolton is only 66 rated, so we definitely need to be on the lookout for a new centre-back before the end of the transfer window, and that will be our business officially finished. And we have got £4 million to bring in a centre-back. And the centre-back we have identified to bring to St Mirren is Alfie Dorrington of Tottenham Hotspur. He's 67 rated, 20-year-old, 6'4", and he's going to cost us between £2 and £1.7 million. I think this would be a really good signing for the future, and we don't have to break the bank to bring him here. And for just £1.4 million, Alfie Dorrington is heading to St Mirren. And after the signing of Dorrington, our transfer window is officially finished. And we only made the one sale in this window. Lewis Jameson has left the club to sign for Hibernian for £670,000. So our Europa Conference League group is in, boys, and we've got Atalanta, AGF and BK Häcken. I do actually think, lads, we've got a decent chance of getting through this group. We're now simulating all the way to the end of the season, and let's see how St Mirren got on in season 3. So we've arrived at the end of season 3, boys, and we have secured a 3rd place finish in the original round of the SPFL. However, in the championship stage, we actually went unbeaten, winning 3 and drawing 2, finishing on 67 points. Still 19 points behind Celtic, but that is a massive improvement on our other 2 seasons, and I really feel like now we are getting close to challenging Celtic and Rangers for a league title. However, I do think it'll take 2 or 3 more seasons till we get there. And lads, we got all the way to the Scottish Cup final, but obviously Celtic beat us. We're just not quite ready to beat the likes of Celtic and Rangers just yet. We once again give a really good account of ourselves in the Conference League, finishing on 7 points in 3rd place, winning 2 of our 6 games. However, next season we will actually be in the Europa League, and if we can't get through the group in the Conference League, I am not confident at all with the Europa League. So this is how the team is looking at the end of season 3, and the squad is starting to look really strong, with Martins, Forson and Lopez being our best players, along with James Beadle as well, who's 78 rated. Now, going into season 4, we will definitely be making Gore, Forson's and Martins loans deals permanent, and I think that will cost us £4 million in total. Then after that, lads, I want to bring in a new right back to replace Ryan Strain, and I'm also thinking that central midfield needs beefing up, so we're also going to be in the market for a centre midfielder. In terms of stats, lads, Mohamed Toure was our best player, getting 23 goals and 4 assists. Mark O'Hara had a great season, getting 16 and 8. Omari Forson chipped in with 16 and 7, and Mateusz Martins got 13 and 6. Now let's get into season 4, turn them loans into permanents, and try to get that little bit closer to Celtic and Rangers. So we've arrived in season 4, boys, and we've got £9 million to improve our squad. Now a good chunk of this money is going to go on turning our loanees into permanent signings. So let's get them deals done, then analyse our budget after that. And just to show you how broken 2-year loans of optional future fees are, Omari Forson is worth £20 million. We are going to sign him for £1.3 million. And we have literally just signed a £20 million player for £1.3 million. Get on them 2-year loans, boys. And next to come through the door, Mateusz Martins, worth £10.5 million. We are going to sign him for just £2.85 million. And Mateusz Martins is through the door for the next 5 seasons. And lads, we're not going to be able to sign Dan Gore. We cannot agree a contract with him. Lads, this is not good at all. Oh, we're not going to be able to do it, boys. We're definitely not going to be able to sign Dan Gore. Oh, that's a gutting. We just didn't have enough money to get it over the line. It's back to the drawing board, boys, in our search for a central midfielder. What a player Dan Gore's been for us. We just do not have the finances to bring him to the club. He wants 33 grand a week, a 270 grand signing bonus. Absolutely no chance we can afford that. And I'm very sure we can bring in a good replacement for Dan Gore, but we're a little bit cash strapped at the minute, lads, as we only have £3 million available to us. And we're very quickly moved on from Daniel Gore, boys, as we've found an excellent Scottish international on the free agents list. And we have signed Andy Irvine on a 3-year contract. Irvine is 26-year-old, 75 rated, instantly our best midfielder, and goes straight into the starting 11. And we have identified the final player we want to bring to the club in this summer transfer window, and he is Maciej Kazmarek. I think I've butchered that name, boys. 20-year-old, 73 rated, free agent, boys. Loads of play styles, high work rates. He would be a great pickup for us, and is instantly better than Ryan Strain. And Kazmarek joins the club on a 5-year deal. And after the signing of Kazmarek, the team is sorted for season 4, and it is looking so strong on paper, boys. With Martins and Forson being permanent incomings, midfield experience in Andy Irvine, and a really high potential young right back, the squad is looking set for another competitive season in the SPFL, and hopefully some of these players can reach 80 rated this season. And let's not forget, boys, we are actually in the Europa League, and I want to see this team have a real good go. Now, 2 players left the club this summer. Greg Kilty joined Sayuk Lisaspor, 870 grand, I think I said that right. And Ryan Strain left the club for Genoa for 2.1 million. Our Europa League group is in, boys, and we've got Arsenal, OH Leuven, I think that's how you pronounce it, and FC St. Gallen. I do actually think we've got a chance of getting through this group, boys. Obviously, Arsenal will be a very tricky place to go. Let's now simulate forward through to the end of the season and see how we got on in the SPFL and the Europa League. So we've reached the end of the season, boys, and we actually finished 2nd in the first round of the SPFL on 68 points, level with Rangers. But heading into the championship rounds, we only won 2 of our 5 games and actually lost 3 of them, meaning Rangers did end up leapfrogging us into 2nd place, meaning we've narrowly missed out on Champions League football, but it's back in the Europa League again next season. And we won our first trophy of the rebuild, boys, beating Hearts 3-0 in the Scottish Cup final, and that is St.Mirren's first trophy since 2012. And lads, we got all the way to the Europa League quarter-final where we were knocked out 8-3 by Borussia Dortmund. Now, the squad is looking very good at the end of the season. We've now now had 2 players in Lopez and Forson reach 80 rated, with Beadle, Salas, Martins and Torre all knocking on the door as well. We've got a very, very strong squad on paper, boys, but I do think going into the new season we need to improve our central midfield positions. So as we're expecting a transfer budget of around £10 million, we might only be able to bring in 1 or 2 players. In terms of stats, lads, Mohamed Torre had another brilliant season, getting 29 and 8, but Omari Forson though, boys, what a player this guy is. 28 goals and 16 assists for the man. Andy Irvin's first season as a St.Mirren player was really good, getting 17 and 11. Mateus Martins got 15 and 8, Mark O'Hara got 13 and 11, and Keanu Bacchus chipped in with 13 and 9. So a lot of players hitting double figures this season, which we like to see. Let's get into the new season. So we are kicking off season 5, maybe season 6. I've completely lost track of what season we're up to at this point, boys. We have a very, very shrewd free agent signing, and listen, we are wheeling and dealing our way to a Champions League final with St. Mirren. We have brought in Firmin on a 4-year contract. He's 24 years old and 78 rated, worth 15.5 million. He had to be picked up on a free. I think this is an outstanding pickup. And we did have £14 million in the bank, boys. We now have 12. And after the signing of Firmin, boys, looking at the starting 11, I definitely think we still need a quality right back, as Kazmarek has just not grown at all. And instead, boys, we have turned our eye to Newcastle United right back Sam Curtis, 74 rated, 21-year-old. Pretty decent stats, 6'1", and can play all across the back line, and it's only going to cost us between 9.9 and 8.4 million pounds, so we can definitely bring him in. Let's bring him to St. Mirren. And for £7.5 million, we have brought Sam Curtis to St. Mirren. And that leaves us with £4 million in the bank, lads. So that could be all our business for this summer done. And we have had 2 outgoings in this transfer window, boys. Marcus Fraser has joined Hataya Sport for 420 grand. And Kazmarek has joined Getafe for £4.5 million. So we do still have £8 million in our transfer kitty. I think looking at the squad, boys, we probably can't bring in a player with that money who comes straight into our starting 11 and makes us instantly a better side. So I am actually just tempted to save it for next season. So our Europa League group is in, lads, and it's not an easy one this time round. We've got Sevilla, FC20 and FC Nordland. I think this is going to be a really, really difficult group this time round. I do think we've got quality, boys, and I would like to see us get through the group. There's only one way to find out if we do, and that is by simulating forward to the end of the season. Let's see how we got on in the SPFL and the Europa League, and hopefully we're playing Champions League football next season. So we've arrived at the end of the season, boys, and we did manage to finish second in the SPFL in the first stage of the competition. Now, were we able to hold on to second in the second stage? We went on better than second and actually won the SPFL, boys, beating Rangers and Celtic to the league title, and we have actually won the SPFL with St. Mirren. And we've only gone and won the Scottish Cup as well. We have done the domestic double, beating Rangers 5-4 on penalties at Hampden Park, and oh my god, imagine if we have made it 3 out of 3 and won the Europa League. And we haven't won the Europa League, boys. Sporting Lisbon have won it, and we got to the quarterfinals where Sporting Lisbon did knock us out 6-2. And this is our title winning, Scottish Cup winning side, and it looks so good on paper, boys. We now have Martins, Firmin and Beadle all at 80 rated as well, with Curtis going by 5 overalls this season. Very good squad on paper, boys, but we desperately need some reinforcements next season. I'm thinking I want to bring in a new central midfielder to replace Bacchus, and I'd like to boost the average overall of the squad up a bit as well next season, boys, and hopefully we get a good transfer budget to spend some good money, because as of right now we have been living off a shoestring budget and it's been so difficult to improve this team. Now, in terms of stats, lads, Omari Forson continues to be our best player, getting 31 goals and 9 assists, with Mohamed Torre getting 29 and 10 as well. Mateus Martins got 16 and 9, Andy Irvin 12 and 11, Bacchus 12 and 9, and then Firmin with 10 and 9. So many goals scored by the squad this season. I'm really happy with how we're developing. We just really need to add some Champions League quality to the team. And this season we'll also say goodbye to James Bolton and Scott Tanzer, who are both retiring. So, boys, despite winning the SPFL and the Scottish Cup last season, we've only got £20 million to improve our squad this season. That's probably one signing, boys. And we've also got some key first teamers like Keanu Bacchus and James Beadle who need the contract renewing, so that's going to eat away at some budget as well. We might have to make some sales before we bring some players in, because I really wanted to improve the squad squad as much as possible in this transfer window. But we have had some very good news, boys. We won the European Shield pre-season tournament, meaning £3.9 million has been added to our transfer budget, and we are actually kicking off our transfer window with 2 outgoings. Keanu Bacchus has left the club to join RB Salzburg for £6.5 million. I really like the guy, but he would only accept a new contract if he was a crucial first-team player. At 30-year-old, 76 rated, lads, is a player that we had to improve, so we sold him. And another player who wouldn't sign a new deal unless they were a crucial first-team player is Alfie Dorrington. We've actually sold him to Union Berlin for £12.3 million, which is well above his market value. So we also need to bring in a new centre-back in this window. Probably worth noting as well, boys, Dorrington did not grow a single overall point last season. And this means we now have £40 million in the bank, which is much better to look at. So as we know, we're in the market for a new central midfielder to replace Keanu Bacchus, and we have identified Connor Barron of Aberdeen. 25-year-old, 81 rated, really good stats, high ruck rates, and he is only going to cost us between 24 and 20.5 million pounds, meaning a lot of our transfer budget will be gone, lads, but I am definitely bringing this guy to St Mirren. And we have signed Connor Barron for 20 million pounds. And after signing Connor Barron, we're left with 18 million pounds. And lads, we have also brought in a brand new centre-back, and this guy is a regen, and he looks absolutely amazing. We have signed Casper Willems from AS Monaco for 16 million pounds. He's 20-year-old, 78 rated, amazing stats, boys, and he goes straight into our starting 11. And that officially leaves us with not a coin in our bank account. So I think it's safe to say that our transfer window is finished. And do you know what, boys? I'm so happy with how that team's looking now. We've definitely left the transfer window stronger than we went into it. Is this team ready for Champions League football? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not writing us off just yet, but I would really love us to make the round of 16 at least. Oh my god, lads. Our first ever Champions League group is in, and we've got Real Madrid, Juventus and Basel. Are you mad? We've no chance, boys. I'm genuinely gutted that we've got the group of death. You never know, lads. Stranger things have happened on these rebuilds, but I just cannot see us getting through this group. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of the season and see how St Mirren got on this time round. We arrived at the end of the season, boys, and we finished top of the SPFL in the standard season. And when we got to the championship stage, we went back to back, boys, winning consecutive league titles, meaning we have well and truly dethroned Celtic and Rangers as a dominant force in Scottish football. But it's Celtic who would have the last lap of the season as they beat us in the Scottish Cup final on penalties, meaning we've made 3 finals, won 1 and lost 2. That is absolutely soul destroying. And by some divine miracle, lads, we finished second in our Champions League group, beating Real Madrid away 3-2. They crashed out of the competition, but then we would get the impossible task of PSG in the round of 16. We put up a really good fight, lads. We lost 5-3 over 2 legs, but that is a massive step in the right direction for us. So this is how the team is looking at the end of the season, boys, and only one player in the starting 11 is below 80 rated, and that is Irving in midfield, meaning we will be looking to replace him next season. We've got a really good squad on paper, boys, and I'm really happy with it. We just need players to start developing now, as I think we are missing like 1 or 2 world-class players to try and get us into that Champions League final. So we are so many seasons in now, boys. I don't even know what season it is, but we have got 32 million pounds to kick off the new campaign, and we definitely need to spend the bulk of that money on a new central midfielder. But unfortunately, boys, a good amount of players who are actually key first team players are out of contract at the end of the season, meaning we're going to waste so much of our budget now renewing these deals. Now, boys, I am aware a small amount of our viewers do not like us signing free agents in non-free agent rebuilds, but when players like this come available, you just have to sign them. You have to sign him. We're crying out for a new centre-back. This guy's just turned up on my scout report. I would have been an absolute fool to not sign him. We have signed Daniel Koch on a 5-year deal. I think that's how you pronounce it. He is 18 years old and 79 rated with a market value of £26 million. And we're paying him £3 a week. Come on, boys. Needs most. We need world-class players. We need superstars if we're going to get better in the Champions League, and Koch is the man to take us forward. 18 years old, 79 rated, no brainer. And boys, there's been a very big outgoing with the addition of Koch to the squad. We have actually cashed in on Kike Salas and sold him to Estrak Troyes. £29.3 million, 10 million over his market value. What a deal we have got there. And we have now got £50 million to improve our squad, and this could be season defining. And as we know, boys, our main target is a central midfield player, and we have identified an absolute world-class player in Maximo Perrone of Manchester City. He's 83 rated, 26-year-old, really well-rounded stats, and he's going to cost us between 45 and 38 million, meaning it'll be most of our budget gone. But can you just imagine a player like Perrone in this St.Mirren squad? He definitely takes us to the next level. And we have signed Maximo Perrone for £38 million, decimating our transfer budget. So with the incomings of Koch and Perrone, boys, this is the team to take us into the new season, and it looks so stacked on paper. We are lacking an out-and-out world-class player, but we do have some amazing players like Forson and Barron. I've got high hopes for this team in the SPFL and Scottish Cup, but in the Champions League, we got to the round of 16 last season. Maybe we can get to the quarters this time. But our Champions League group is in, lads, and once again, we are just stuck in such an hard group. Man United, Milan and Shakhtar Donetsk. Wow. This game just must hate me today or something, boys. I really don't know what I've done. Can we get through the group? Only one way to find out, boys, and that's by simulating forward through to the end of the season, and let's see how St Mirren got on this time round. We're right at the end of the season, boys, and we are dominating Scottish football as we finish top of the Cinch Premier League once again on 83 points. Then into the Championship round, we secured our third consecutive league title on 92 points, 7 clear of Celtic, and boys, we are absolutely dominating Scottish football at the minute. And we completed our second domestic double of the rebuild, beating Celtic 2-1 to clinch the Scottish Cup. And this St Mirren team is just surprising me more and more. We actually topped our Champions League group on 14 points, but lads, we got such a difficult tie in the round of 16 against Atletico Madrid. We went out 3-2 on aggregate despite winning the second leg 1-0. But that is very encouraging, boys. We've got through our Champions League group 2 seasons in a row. If we had the right quality in the summer, maybe we can start going further into the competition. Now, this is how the team is looking at the end of the season, boys, and it's safe to say we have now got some very world-class players in this team like Forson, Martins, Torre, Lopez, Koch, Bermin, Perrone and Barron. The team is looking amazing on paper, boys. I do think we're so close now to having a world-class team that can go all the way in the Champions League. I do think, though, the goalkeeper position is lacking. We've had Beadle for so long. He's 25-year-old, 82 rated. He's not grown much for a good few seasons. I think if we go out and sign a veteran world-class goalkeeper to replace Beadle, we could be onto a winner in the Champions League. In terms of stats, our best player this season was a new one, Mateusz Martin, getting 29 goals and 13 assists. Mohamed Torre got 25 and 4. Forson just does Forson things, 22 and 14. And Maximo Perrone had a brilliant first season in Scotland, getting 17 goals and 13 assists. Goals just not hard to come by, boys. We're scoring, we're looking good. Let's get into the new season, boys, and try to get into the latter stages of the Champions League. So we have arrived in the new season, boys, and I can't lie, I'm still saying it. I just do not have a clue what season we're in at this moment in time, and we've got £65 million to improve our squad. And as we know, boys, we are in the market for a goalkeeper, and we have identified Georgi Marmadishvili of Tottenham Hotspur. 86 rated, unreal stats. We have actually used him very recently in a recent rebuild, which I can't quite remember who it were. I've got a really bad feeling it's actually the Plymouth Argyle rebuild we did the other week, but he's the best goalkeeper I can find within our current price range of 65 million. He's going to cost between 60 and 51 million, meaning we can probably definitely bring him to the football club. And we have brought Georgi Marmadishvili to Paisley for £52 million. And that leaves us with a transfer budget of just £8 million. So our Champions League group is in, lads, and it's a little bit more forgiving than our recent ones. We've got Barcelona, Braga and Besiktas. Still a difficult group, but with the squad we've currently got, I do think we can get through it. So let's simulate forward to the end of the season and see how we got on in the Champions League and Scottish League. So we're arrived at the end of the season, boys, and our domination of Scottish football is continuing as we finished top of the first round of the Cinch Premier League, and then we went on to comfortably win the league by 22 points. We did say in this rebuild we wanted to make St Mirren the dominant side in Scottish football. We've done just that. However, we did not win the Scottish Cup this time. Rangers beat Celtic in an Old Firm. We were knocked out, you know, in the quarter-finals by Kilmarnock. That is shocking. But, lads, I know me onions, as we're in a Champions League final against Manchester United. They finished second in our group, 3 points behind Barcelona, where we went on to beat Atletico Madrid 7-5 to beating them 5-3 in the second leg of the round of 16 of the Champions League to set up a quarter-final tie with Bayern Munich, who we beat 7-2. Wow, we absolutely thumped Bayern Munich, then beat PSG 4-2, narrowly beating them in the second leg 1-0 to set up a final with Manchester United of all teams. boys. And this is the team that has got us to a Champions League final, and it is looking absolutely fire. And before we find out, let's have a quick once over of the stats. Omari Forson was once again our best player, getting 34 goals and 15 assists, but Martins again chipped in with 32 and 15 assists. Torre with 30 and 4, so 3 of our players scored over 30 goals this season. Brony then got 15 and 15, but then not many goals than the rest of the squad, as our attacking players did all the scoring for us. Now all that's left to do, boys, is take on Manchester United at the San Siro to bring Champions League glory to Paisley. So here we go, boys. It is St.Mirren versus Manchester United for the Champions League trophy. We've wheeled and dealed our way to the Champions League final. Teams full of loans and frees, spent minimal transfer fees until the last couple of seasons, and here we are now taking on Manchester United when it matters the most. Lovely play by Man United, but it's cut out. That's a red card. That is a red card for Højlund. He's got to go. He's gone, lads. Oh my God, Rasmus Højlund is sent off inside the first 5 minutes. He goes clean through the back of our player, completely off the ball, and Højlund is off. United are down to 10 men in the first 10 minutes. Literally 6 on the clock, and Højlund has got himself sent off. Wow, we have got such a big opportunity here now to win the Champions League trophy. Get a bit carried away here because they've had a man sent off. I'm getting a bit overexcited. You know, there's still a lot of football to play. And that's good defending. Perron, have a dig. No. Oh, what a save. The former City man, that's the first shot of the game on 23 minutes. Testing the keeper's hands. Ball in by Martins. That's going to be... Oh, what a save again. No way. How have we just not scored there? But it wins it back high. Firmin. Oh, Martins, it's got to be... Missing the bar. Shoot. It's a wall, man. How are we not winning? How are we not winning? We've hit the bar. The keeper's made saves. Oh, my God. Torre. Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely dribbling. Surely now, get in there, boys. We've been knocking on the door, and Torre makes it 1-0 to St.Mirren. Get in there. We've been so unlucky in the last 5 minutes. We've hit the bar. The goalkeeper's made 3 great saves, but there's nothing he could do about this. Look at that turn from Torre. That's agility, that. And he smashes it past the goalkeeper into the side netting. It's 1-0 to St.Mirren against 10-man Manchester United. By Martins going to the space. Torre's in. This is lovely. Dink it across. That's going to be a goal. Yes! Get in there, boys. It's 2-0. And Omari Forson against his former club. I thought he weren't going to get there, boys. I thought there were too much on the cross. All about the build-up play. Torre does so well. Lovely dink cross across the box. I did think there were too much on it for Forson, but obviously not. He just taps it into the far corner. And we are taking a 2-goal lead into the second half. And it's half-time, boys. 2-0 to St.Mirren. United down to 10. Oh, my God. Højlund, Højlund, Højlund. I might put Højlund in the actual thumbnail. He's done us such a big favour. Curtis is on him. Whoa. That's a good ball. Oh, not good. We've let Man United back in the game, the 10 men of Manchester United, and it's Facundo Pellistri who scores the goal. It's really, really poor defending. It's a great cross, and Pellistri at the back post, unmarked. And the 10 men of Manchester United have got a lifeline now in this final. Klopp needs to get there. Torre. McClark for passing. Martins to win the game. What a save by Restes. Back to Forson. That's brilliant play. Ref. Penalty. Terrible tackle. Penalty. We've got a golden chance to make it 3, but it's not been scored yet, boys. It's a terrible tackle. So it's stupidly late. What are Man United doing today? The tackles these men are making, they're trying to give us the Champions League trophy. It's got to go in. It's Martins from the spot. It's not the best. It's in the back of the net off the post. It's 3-1 to St.Mirren with 10 minutes to go in this Champions League final. And Manchester United have well and truly hit the self-destruct button. And surely now we don't bottle this against 10 men. Oh my God. Oh my God, Barron. 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 Get in there. It's 4-1. We've won the game. That is game over. A Scotsman scores in the final for St.Mirren. This has been an amazing final. It has been an amazing final for us. We've got a Scotsman on the score sheet. Barron with a goal. What a finish that is. Nothing Restes can do. And now we're literally just waiting for that final whistle. Can we go and get a 5th? Would we get a 5th in this final? Lads, Torre. It's 5. Oh my God. It's 5-1 to St.Mirren. Oh my God. And there's the full-time whistle, boys. We have smashed 10-man Manchester United 5-1 at the San Siro. to clinch the Champions League trophy for St. Mirren. And we have got Rasmus Højlund to thank for this. I cannot believe 5 minutes in and you make that kind of tackle from behind. And it will be Firmin, the club captain, who will lift the trophy for us. He joined us as a free agent and he is the man who will lift the trophy for St. Mirren. And St. Mirren are the champions of Europe, and that is another rebuild successfully boxed off. So I just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help me out. We are on the journey now to 3,000 subscribers, which is literally madness. So yeah, thank you, boys, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.